Well, it's like we said, if it's not a masterpiece, it's a piece of shit, right?
True.
If it ain't Van Gogh, it's garbage.
Okay, so the next film we're going to talk about, this is the way I dub it. The inferior Alita is Captain Marvel.
Okay. Captain Marvel to me was not impressive. In all honesty, this is my thing, right? Let me just say this. Let me get it off my chest.
Well, can I get this off my chest first?
Get something off your chest first.
I am not taken away from its box office performance. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to say, if you in any way believe that this film deserves to make more than a Wonder Woman and compete with the Iron Man 3s and these films, commercially speaking, I think you're crazy just because it's a female superhero.
No, I agree.
By the way, I'm not comparing these two completely to different levels. People were making Black Panther seem like it's the first ever black superhero film. Mm-hmm. Yet they completely forgot about Blade and all these films.
That's literally the first thing that comes to mind is Blade.
Yeah, no, but the same thing is like everybody forgot about Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. But now you give your point.
My thing with Captain Marvel was it was a completely average film. There was nothing special about it. In the film, you don't even... I mean, don't get me wrong. Captain Marvel is very, very powerful, right? But not in that movie. How is she going to compare to Thanos? If she's as strong as she is in that movie, she's going to get just whooped on.
Our same problem with... Our one pet peeve with Shazam.
Yes. But that's the thing. It's like... It was like... Honestly, the best part about that movie was the Skrull guy. Super funny, and it made the movie way better.
Well, once again, my problem with the film, I really enjoyed it as a comedy, but as anything else, I'm like, what is it?
It was severely lacking. You could literally, I honestly would put it on the lower end of the spectrum of superhero movies. Oh my fucking phone. It's not that fun. I mean, it was, like I said, I wouldn't even call it decent. I would literally give it probably a 4 out of 10.
Damn, so below average?
Yeah, below average. It just, all in all, it was just like, well, what are we doing here? We're learning about...
It felt very pointless.
Yeah. In all honesty, because this movie came out, you could have honestly skipped this movie completely and just threw in Avengers and I would have been fine. Everything that happened in this movie had no significance to Avengers Infinity.
My problem, I feel like if this was... Let's say this was just a plain-out Marvel film, like a Fox Marvel film. Mm-hmm. I feel like commercially... and especially critically, does not get anywhere near the raves that it does get.
Yeah. What did it get? Do you know?
Over 80 on...
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I can honestly tell you right now, I probably enjoyed Hellboy that we watched today.
More?
Yeah. And like they said, Hellboy to me wasn't a great movie, but it was a good movie. It wasn't bad.
Okay. I don't think Hellboy was a better put-together film. But I enjoyed
it more.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it had exciting parts and it had like interesting parts. Literally, if you just look at Captain Marvel, what about that movie? Did you feel any excitement watching that movie? Like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Well, you know why?
No.
To make the comparison, Hellboy at least had a director's print on it. He had, like, I feel like whoever directed that was his vision of the film. Mm-hmm. When you watch Captain Marvel, this film is the embodiment of the MCU train in the sense, it feels like they just put directors in there just to do what the producers wanted, if that makes sense to you.
No, I feel it. Just, like I said, nothing about Captain Marvel was like, spoke to me. It didn't even like pop out. It was just like, well, here's a movie. Yeah. And then it was like, yeah, this movie's great. And I'm like, eh.
I do want to say this. I really enjoyed the cast. I thought the acting...
No, the cast was really good. The acting was really good, but the
story,
mm-hmm.
the plot.
And you know what's funny, too, is it's not like I even had high expectations for Captain Marvel.
That's the problem. Like, I didn't have high expectations either. And then when I walked out the film, I'm like, this is the film that just opened to 100... Because we went the
I remember. We were very upset when we walked out the movie theater.
Especially with the way the film ends. The fights... Going off of...
Fight scenes weren't even that good, dude.
No, but you remember...
Oh, there wasn't really any fight scenes. No. That's what we talked about, yeah.
And then the ending fight scene, the thing that they could brag about is how, with CGI, she destroyed a couple ships. You know how she was using her powers to...
That's what I'm saying. There was nothing that was really, like, boom, amazing that was in that movie. So it fell short for me. It felt really short for me. I didn't like it. And I'm going to be in all honesty, like... My probably least favorite like Marvel movie, just in terms of like action wise, is like Ant-Man.
But I think Ant-Man was much better.
No, that's what I'm saying. I just in action wise though, I enjoyed Ant-Man's story and I enjoyed the comedy. But it's like this is even below Ant-Man. So it might be my least favorite Marvel movie.
But I'm trying to think. What was his identity? Like, take away Captain Marvel. What was the identity of this film besides it being the first female MCU film? What was the identity? What was the purpose of this?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said you could throw her in Endgame and not be any of the wiser. This taught us nothing. All it taught us about the beeper at the end. Which, guess what? At the end, the beeper that he had, had the insignia of Captain Marvel. So we knew she was going to show up. So what was the point in this movie? Because we already knew she was going to show up because the beeper had her signal.
Can we not even bring up the tie-ins to the MCU as a whole? Because they were so poorly done in this film. You remember how mad I was about the tie-ins.
What do you mean?
About how they got the Avenger Project name?
Oh, yeah, you were really upset about that.
How Fury got his scratch scar.
Yeah, that was dumb too.
Like I guess my biggest problem, the film was so cheesy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, and it didn't have anything to counter it besides it being comedy. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no delicate balance.
Because you remember how you said you were not a fan of Thor Ragnarok because of how it was so different from its roots, the comics, right?
Well, that, and not only the fact is, like, Thor 1 was like, but Thor 2 got really serious, kind of, with the dark elves and everything.
Yes.
And then Thor 3 is just like, we'll just throw it up in the air.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be Ragnarok. It's supposed to be the end of the world, and it's just all comedy.
But can you say this, that as a collective film, even though it wasn't the identity you liked, it still had an identity?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely unique.
Yeah, but this film, it felt like
it was bland. It was just it's like generic shit, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like it was me directing that movie, but it was worse. Because even I wouldn't have thunk of dumb shit like that. But what do I know, right?
Okay, so to sum up Captain Marvel, if you just want a good buddy film and you want some comedy, I can't not recommend it.
I feel like it's one of those movies you just put on to have noise in the background.
It's a TV dinner movie.
Yeah, it's just like, it'd be fine, throw it on.
Yeah. But as you were saying, the writing overall, and especially the narrative, can I say this? Captain Marvel felt like the first MCU film that truly felt like it was supposed to be made for TV in terms of the plot.
That's exactly what it kind of felt like.
It felt like
it was made for TV.
Like it felt like one of those Netflix shows.
It wasn't one of those, like you see some movies and it's like, yeah, you got to watch this on the big screen. That was like, you could have watched that on a 7-inch.
No, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Okay. All right. Well,
but I will say that I do love Brie Larson.
I love her skills as an actress.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you want to subscribe, just hit this bad boy up here, that big fat rhino. If you want the newest video, to the right. If you want the recommended, to the left. And then, of course, our personal dick pic. Yep, right below. So thank you for joining us once again, and we hope to see you next week. So peace out.
Peace.